find a way to make one. If you meet anybody from Clark, Atlanta, we believe in that statement like no other. My thing was, if I don't have an internship, if I don't have an OG, I'm going to figure it out some kind of way.
The One More Time Music Podcast. Genuine conversations with genuine people about music. Hosted by Henry with a 3 and Playback Ben.
Went from Beamer Coops to Pencils. Don't want this to end, so pop that one more time. Pop that one more time. Pop that shit like one more time. They pop that one more time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another episode of the One More Time podcast. I'm your host, Playback Ben, here with my co-host.
H3, no Hummer.
H3, who do we got in the hot seat today, my friend?
Welcoming in on episode 72 of the One More Time podcast, legendary actor, it's Anthony Anderson.
What? Hey, go watch my show, Blackish.
I've never seen it. How is it?
It's cool. You know, I love what I do.
There you go.
In all seriousness, we have legendary manager, we got record executive A&R, we got Stevo in the building.
Stevo.
Hey, appreciate you all having me, man. A One More Time podcast, the world famous.
It's
right.
It's been a long time coming, for sure.
At least city famous.
At least
the city.
Hey, I'm actually feeling a little bit on like a power trip because like now when we go out to events, maybe it's because we're the only white people at like a lot of these events, but they're like,
you guys do the podcast.
They're like, hey, you guys do the podcast, right? And I'm like, yo, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So it is cool to like see it making waves through the city at least for sure. So, but you and I met actually playing pickup basketball.
Absolutely.
So I was familiar, with what you have done in the, in the industry, but I actually got to meet you while we were hooping. You're like a huge sports guy.
Yes, sir.
So I do want to talk about, we've mentioned this on other episodes, like draw some parallels between sports and like the characteristics it takes to be an athlete, right, to this music shit, right? Like what kind of stuff are you drawing from your like experience in sports and just the world of sports, and how does that translate to like the music business and what you do?
I was an athlete growing up. I'm not an athlete anymore. Even how me and Ben met, I don't play in those games anymore. My knee is shot.
He was a hooper, man, and still is. He's still
the jumper's there, but the knee is definitely not.
He's not there.
Yeah, but
well, that comes with age. So.
Yeah, indeed. Growing up, I played every sport: baseball, football, softball, even a summer of soccer, a summer of tennis. But I guess if I could draw a parallel to how I view the music business and sports, it's not even the sport directly. In that aspect, it's more of like being from Atlanta and still being here. When I played all these baseball, middle school ball, and then once I hit 7th grade, it was all basketball. I played AAU. It's people who I grew up with and I played with and played against that just showed me how the metro Atlanta area is so intimate. Even though you go either direction from Henry County to Gwinnett, it's about an hour and a half, or from Douglasville to DeKalb, it's about an hour. I played every school, AAU, we're crossing paths. So when I got into the music business right after college in 2012, going to Clark, Atlanta, it's like it was that same thing to where like once I got in the business, there were so many people from the AUC, from the metro Atlanta area that it wasn't even networking. It was like, I played against you. Like
that's the homie.
Yeah, that's the homie. I went to this party with you. So it was, the parallel is sports. I would play against all these kids from all over the country, but the metro Atlanta area. Then when I got in the business, it was like the same thing. And I think that's just a testament of how much I love the city and what it's done for me. And I wouldn't be where I am today without those foundation relationships that came almost by default.
Yeah.
So like, what about some of the intangibles though, like competition and like teamwork type of shit? Like, are you seeing yourself like treating how you move in the music business at all of like how you like operated within, team sports, specifically like basketball and that sort of thing? Or is it not really something you ever draw from?
I wouldn't attribute it to sports. I mean, playing sports, it helps, of course. I was a point guard in basketball, but can I be a leader? Am I a leader? Yes. But I tell people all the time, like my vision was never like, I want my own company. I want to be the president, CEO, and I'm going to run my own ship. That's never been a dream of mine. If it happens, it happens. And I own my management company, but that's never been my thing. And point guards are usually like, yo, I'm the top. I'm going to run the show, put the pieces together, etc. For me, I always reference this movie, Slumdog Millionaire. Like the guy wasn't the smartest, but his life experiences gave him all the answers to the questions. And also, I love posse films or posse stories. Power Rangers, Fast and Furious, Ninja Turtles, like anything where a group of people are accomplishing something, I just was like, I didn't care who to be. It was just, I love that everybody has a task and we attack the task to accomplish something. So my parallel with music, it's more of teamwork in general, not necessarily like a direct connection to sports. It's just I want to play a role, and I like that we all holding up the trophy at the end of the day. I don't care what position I play per se.
But like that willingness and like desire to win though, like I've seen you on the celebrity softball game at 404 Day, and like you're a competitive motherfucker. Like,
for sure.
Do you feel like you also have that like intense desire to win in this music shit?
Oh yeah, and now the desire to win is definitely, I guess you could say that's a parallel from sports, but I also don't do things I'm not good at. So like those sports that I only played for a summer, I was okay at, and I stuck with basketball because I was the best at it naturally. Like none of these baseball, I grew up like training to play, but then once I tried basketball in 5th grade, I was like, I'm naturally better at this than baseball. So I went with what I'm good at. So when I have this intensity, it's not only like I want to win, it's I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think I could win. So that's why, and there's some conflicts with like, I think in my career to where I didn't attempt certain things because I'm like, I'm not going to succeed. Like those were internal things, but if you see me doing something, you don't ever have to worry about that because that was it. In order for me to even do it, I have to think can we cuss on here?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to think I'm the shit at it. So, so for that reason, I'm always going to be competitive and think I'm a winner.
It's interesting, right? Because we've had some people that come on here and talk about like the things that are uncomfortable for you to do sometimes lead to like the biggest wins. You seem to take maybe a slightly different approach that, you know, from what I'm hearing, as far as like, you're going to focus on what you fucking do well, and you're going to like beat that shit to a pulp of like, I'm in your face with how good I am at this, you know, realm, right?
Absolutely. I'm just now starting to get out of the imposter syndrome stuff. Like, I'm 32 years old. I've been in this business 10 years. Like, and this whole trying new stuff is new for me. So my comfort zone is, I'm the shit at this, and I'm just going to keep reminding folks how I'm the shit at this. So that describes me to a T. I'm just going to beat it over your head that I never get tired of showing how good I am. Like, it's kind of like the Michael Jordan thing, like you retire because you're so good, but then you're like, I miss this shit. Like, or you hear Mike Tyson talk about like, I miss beating the brakes off people. Like, I'm good at this. Like, so I definitely have that similarity with
for sure. For sure. So how do you feel about the state of Atlanta professional sports right now? How are you feeling about the city?
Hey man, we're reigning champs in baseball. So
at least got that.
Yeah, until there's another champion, that's us. The Hawks.
Yeah, but I see you at like every team. You support the Dream, United,
absolutely,
Falcons, Braves, Hawks. I mean, if there's some other weird professional sport,
this may be odd. I don't know which camera I'm looking at, but this week lacrosse we won in 17. That's the lacrosse tab right there. The Jordan
I didn't even know we had.
They're Gwinnett, but still, and I still haven't made it to a game. I catch them on TV sometimes.
Wait, you got a tattoo and you haven't made it to a game?
Haven't made it to a game.
Wow,
that's
but we won the ship.
Weird.
I was like, I'm getting that. So, and then my first name starts with S. So I was like, it coincides.
Kind of works.
Yeah, but we're gonna be all right. The Hawks, we're getting it together. You see, we got Devontae Murray now, so that's dope.
I don't know about the Falcons this year, man.
They were saving them for last, but we don't know. We're opening up with the Saints, so that's dope. 0-0. See who that win will be my Super Bowl. If we beat the Saints week 1, I'm good.
That's a good season. When you beat the Saints. Facts.
Exactly.
The problem is we're going to do just good enough to get a bad draft pick. We're going to go on some stupid run and do the best we can do and still miss the playoffs.
That's our MO, right?
Guaranteed.
That's our MO. I want to take for Bryce Young, but that's our MO.
Yes.
Win just enough games to be out of a good draft pick. And then the Dream have the Rookie of the Year. We didn't make the playoffs this year, but hey, number 1 draft pick and it ends up being the Rookie of the Year. Can't be mad at that.
So what is your involvement with the Dream?
So I was working with Renee Montgomery. She has a podcast, Montgomery and Company, and through her podcast, she books. She invites celebrity guests out to the court. So I was just assisting her with that. Like if there was somebody she had in mind, she wanted to come to the game, or somebody I could pitch to her and say, hey, they wanted to come to a game. We would just, we set it up like that, and they interview on our podcast, and get a trip to the Dream game. So
that's dope. Cool.
Build camaraderie in the fan base with the Dream and get the community through celebrity activation, get everybody hyped about the team, the season. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this past year, like the WNBA got money as a whole, but we also have new ownership, new management, etc. Down there at that arena, like you see the changes. Like you're like, oh, okay. I see. If you went before and see it now, you're like, oh, this is different. So. Yeah, I think the Dream is just up and up, not only as the team, but just as an organization, as a fan base. I think we're on the up and up.
Well, if she ever wants some celebrity podcast host to be sitting courtside, I mean, Henry and I would love to come check out a game.
There it is, down there on the south side, man, in College Park.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
So, yeah, we also bonded over Tar Heel basketball.
Hey, the only non-Georgia team I root for.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I was going to say, tell the people like how you even became a Tar Heel fan, because it's in my blood. I mean, my grandpa, my mom played basketball
Lucky.
there. My sister.
He has an excuse.
Me.
What is your... Why?
I'm
Are you some
brainwashed
kind of
into it.
bandwagon, though? I don't know.
No, it's not bandwagon. When I was 12, 13, I think I was 6th grade, something like that. Both my parents from South Carolina, different parts, but both from South Carolina. My dad was good friends with Raymond Felton's mom. And we went to high school. Like, I remember we went to Myrtle Beach and I saw him play for the first time. It was like a little tournament or something. And I was a point guard. I'm just not getting the basketball. And I was like, oh my God, this is I was just so enamored by the way he played. I'll never forget him throwing like a full court bounce pass. And I was just like,
yes, I know exactly what play you're talking
I'm like,
about.
huh? So we went to the McDonald's All-American game in New York. My dad was like, yo, we're gonna go to New York, and like and I only went for him, but it was the All-American game with Amari Stoudemire, Carmelo Anthony,
man.
his Rashawn McCann, Sean May.
That class was
D
insane.
Brown. I'm like, I was like, who's this Carmelo guy? Like,
Yes.
I think Raymond was 2 in the country and Carmelo was 1. And I was like, who is this Carmelo guy? We're here for Raymond. So, yeah, and I just followed him through. So when he got to UNC, I was like, that's where I'm going. So I have a signed Raymond Felton in my bedroom.
Damn.
Like, he's my favorite Tar Heel of all time. And that's what got me locked. So
You sound more like a Raymond fan than a Tar Heel fan, though. I don't know.
Yeah, but you get fucking sucked into the culture, man. Like, you can't not.
You start hating Duke immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like what was the coach? Matt Darty.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he was terrible. But then Roy comes over after you watch the Carmelo Syracuse national championship. You're like, oh, we're getting him. Like, we're getting that coach. Okay, then they win the chip. Like I'm saying, it's Raymond after 2 years, 3 years. You're like, I can get used to this.
Yeah.
So it's just divine timing. But had I been older, it probably wouldn't have happened. But catching me like right when I started playing basketball, I'm impressionable. I'm 12. So like I'm an Atlanta sports fan. I'm a Falcons fan, Hawks fan. But like college was still kind of iffy for me. So it just was. He caught me at the perfect time, and I've been Tar Heel basketball fan ever since.
That's amazing. Okay. So on the kind of basketball front, you used an analogy in another podcast interview where you talked about like for producers specifically, how important it is to put up more jumpers than anyone else.
Absolutely.
For those that aren't basketball players and don't really understand what you meant, can you kind of like unpack what that analogy like actually means for producers?
Yeah, for sure. There are so many artists putting out music. Like I don't even know the stat, but everybody says like there's 60,000 songs
a day
uploaded. A day. Yeah. So that's ridiculous. And that's like, and then we know even the major artists, it's a lot. Like, so one thing about our team, me, Melita, Parker, Romano, and by extension, all of our producer affiliates and songwriter affiliates, it's like you can get a couple big hits, and we've had success and have success in this business, but it's so easy to be forgotten about because there's always new talent. There's those 60,000 songs. Some artists are going to hear one of them and be like, I want that producer. Like we've seen Future use, like a lot of his producers are family, from Wheezy to but he just used ATL Jacob, but Southside, like we've seen him, and I'm sure he can call everybody, but we've seen him transition through all these producers. So it's like it's always going to be one new hot thing. Mm-hmm. So for producers, you got to hit with this. We got to hit with the Migos. Okay, who's the newest artist? Okay, QC, who else you got? Oh, you got Lakia. Can we get in with her? Oh, Atlantic, you got Cardi B. Okay, appreciate it. We got a track with her, but who's your new artist? Okay, you got whoever the newest act is. Like, it's just you got to keep. It's not guaranteed you're going to get on these albums. So it's just I got to constantly ask these A&Rs and managers, yo, you recording? They're working on some new stuff. Let's get into the producers got to steadily hit up these artists or other producers. What you working on? Can I get in? And you have to do that so many times just to get one placement. Because if you just like, oh, yo, I produced a #1 urban hit, they're going to call my phone. Yeah, they may, but then it's going to be other people in their face pulling up to these sessions, these writers' camps, etc. And they're going to choose them over because they're in their face. They're on their phone. They're in the email. So if you just think you're going to get hot and be like, hey, put my hands up, kick my feet up, that's not going to work. And I'm saying you can buy yourself 2 or 3 years if you get a hit, but why would you do that when you could be working hard and outwork everybody? And I think that's why we're so successful. Yeah. We got our first hit and we still act like, besides the price, of course. The
price went up.
Yeah, the price went up, but we still work as if we're new producers. And I think that's why, and it's not even about other people, but I think that's why we don't have that phase. Like, you know how you have those producers who last a lifetime. And then you have those producers who's like, oh, that so-and-so era was crazy. That so-and-so era was crazy. But we, even though we've been in 6-7 years now, you can't say we had an era. Like, we're still going.
Yeah.
We haven't fallen off and say, oh, that Parker Romano era was crazy. Like, no, we're still going. And I'm proud of us for that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think what you're, to summarize, like, being hungry as fuck, like, you need to get that next, placement, and like, that you need to be working with the next big thing, right? Like, that's so important. And it's crazy to hear that you guys got platinum records, Grammy nominations. I mean, the accolades are incredible, what you've achieved so far.
Appreciate
it might be easy to just kick back.
Yep.
And especially for the talent, like, you as a manager, maybe you might have that, but like, it sounds like your camp, like your talent also has that same mental. Is that fair? Like, Parker and Romano, are they still just as hungry as like what you're describing?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we're just all a partnership made in heaven because we all have that same attitude. We all want more. And then, like, I said this in another interview, but just like, I'll never get tired, even if a song goes platinum. Okay, like, I'll never get tired of another song going platinum. Like, I'll never get tired of that. It's not like, oh, I already had a song going platinum. Okay, whatever, the next. Like, no, there's never too many plaques. Like, I'm not going to complain if I have a whole wall and just say, okay, I'm done here. No, I want my house to be flooded with plaques.
Next room.
Yeah, the next room. So I think we all have that attitude to where, like, there's always a new goal. Even if, okay, you got just double platinum, triple platinum, diamond, double diamond. Like, it's never ending of success. So, like, I kind of like the idea of, you can't reach your ceiling. Like, there is nothing. So just when you think you're right here, it just like automatically raises up. So you got a diamond song. We don't have a diamond record, but like, even if we did, that's not, can you go double diamond? Like, there's always something to reach for more. And that's what I love about this game is, like, there's always something more. I'll never get bored. Like, even if I go attempt like sports, film, etc., I don't think I'll ever like just completely leave music.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever gone double diamond?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I haven't seen it. But I'm saying it's a hell of a goal to try to achieve.
It's like 20 times platinum or something.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So you mentioned this also in another, piece I listened to. You talked about producers need, and hopefully I'm summarizing this correctly, producers need the right people to like you. Artists need a lot of people to like you.
Oh, I like that.
Right? Because, to your point, if you do get in a rhythm with a select group of co-producers or a select group of artists or select group of A&Rs, right? Like, that can be all you need really as a producer, right? Versus an artist, you need a hell of a lot more than 5 people, 10 people to fuck with you to succeed in music, right?
Absolutely.
So what do you think are like tactics for both, right? So if you're a producer, how do you tactically and like actually go about finding and cultivating the right people?
And how do you know who the right people are?
Exactly. Like, talk to us about like, what you do to actually execute against that.
Yeah, I don't think there's like one way. So even the ways I'm about to describe, there's still other methods outside of the ways I'm about to describe. So to give a firsthand account of Parker, for example, I met him when I was managing OG Maco. So then when he came around through the OGG crew, we were at QC, Maco ended up signing QC. He took advantage of that and said, okay, I know I came through Maco, but there's Johnny Cinco, there's Rich the Kid, there's Migo, there's Skipper the Flipper. He just stayed at the studio 3-4 days a week, wasn't going to class at college, but like, he would just, whenever I need some beats. I remember him like just getting up from I got some. Like, he didn't care like whether they were the hottest on QC or not. It was, I know I had to take advantage of this opportunity. And those were the right people. He's like, I came with Maco, I'm in this bubble of QC, I'm gonna work these little 3 rooms right here. And it ended up, you get placements and people like, what's that Johnny Cinco song? Understand? Like, that song's came out in 2014. People still talk about that's one of their favorite Parker beats, the Johnny Cinco Understand Me song. So it's like, as much as it is not a world-renowned record, that's a record a lot of people reference to like, yo, Parker, can I get something like that? And nobody like, if you like, I don't even know if y'all know what song that is. And that's what I'm saying, like, but you don't know whose ears those are gonna lay on. So it's just taking advantage of opportunities. But then you have the producer, like, I don't know how to say his name, but OZ, the guy who does like Drake stuff.
Yeah.
He's from like Switzerland or something.
Or like France or some
I
shit.
still don't know if he's ever touched down the States. I don't know him personally, but he signed to the same publishing company Parker is.
Yeah.
I don't know how he got Drake's info, but like when he got those placements, he didn't even touch foot in the States. Like, I don't have the method of how he did it, But apparently he got something into the right hands, and that's the point. I didn't even know what he looked like for years. Like, and so it wasn't even important for him to make sure I get to the States to get in these writer camps. He worked his moves some other kind of way. Same thing with, I guess, the person who produced Old Town Road. Isn't that guy from another country or something like that? And then
it was like a BeatStars beat.
Yeah.
Something crazy.
From a European guy.
So you have that. Yeah. And then lastly, the thing is the loop makers. Like, loop makers are saying, okay, I don't have these contacts with these A&Rs, these managers, or these whatever, not producers, but I may know one producer. I may know a Romano. Romano, can I send you these? Whatever. Oh, yeah, these hard. And then now when you're doing the credits, people may go back to you and be like, okay, produced by Romano and so. And then now you have relationships like that. And now you got your own credits. When you email and say, hey, I'm the producer of, now you have something to reference back. So,
bro, the Parker producer guide clip about loop makers though,
I stand with my brother.
I saw you in the comments.
I stand with my brother. I'm way meaner. Like, he's nice when he's like all that split evenly, but he said if he does most of the work, I'm with, even if they sent the loop and you take it exactly how it is, I'm still, you need more. Like, I'm
placing the record.
Yeah, because you're using, like, we had to get up and do this work. Like, I've been in this 10 years and got these relationships, and Parker's been sleeping on couches and all that. All that comes into play when it comes to a placement. So, like, I think all that work comes into it when you're miles away or wherever you're at. You're in your garage and we're out here doing this. Like, yeah, you deserve your credit. You worked on it. But I think it should never be even. But when it's the creatives, if they all are fair and they agree, I'm never going to get in the way of the creatives being okay. But just business-wise, when, like, especially, I'm going to get selfish for a second, especially when, like, I may have placed it, and, like, I'm making the call for my client, and then you reaping the benefits. Like, I'm like, hell no. Like,
okay, I have a question for you on that note. So I'm a producer, I have beats, but I also know other people, and I find people that make beats that I really like. And there's one guy, he doesn't have any type of connections. He's in the middle of nowhere, but he sits at his computer and makes beats all day. They're all hard. And he's just begging me to, like, get them, placed kind of for him. And he said he doesn't care if I just throw, like, an open hi-hat on it. But, like, if it's a full beat that he sends me and I get it placed, how do you think that should break down in your mind? It's kind of like an A&R almost.
I speak frankly about my business. It's not, some people tell me I'm crazy. I don't care. Because as much as I said, what I said about Parker, he's nicer to me. Like, even if I make those calls, I need to clarify. If I form my own publishing company, this may not stay true. But as it stands today, if I place a record, because I don't make beats,
right,
and I didn't add a hi-hat, but I place it, I'm asking for 5% publishing. To me, I think that's a fair, like, I haven't come across anybody yet who's been like, you want what? Hell no. Everybody been like, 5? I can do that.
Should have asked for 10, bro.
Yeah, like, I really should. Because I know people who do this, who are like, Stevo, you are tripping, ask for 20.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe one day, but right now, like, I'm cool. If I don't manage you or anything, and I'm just using my relationships to pick, and just boom, boom, like, to me, that's just fair. I don't produce. I'm just picking up the phone or I'm just making an email. I think that's fair. With you actually producing, and, like, people will call your phone and say, hey, H3, I need this beat, because when you send it and you're on the publisher and you're actually a producer, they don't know that you didn't do that. They just see a percentage, 2 producers' names.
Right.
So to me, it should be higher for you. But also, and then also, like you said, you were able to go off that and say, you're still the producer of this song. Because if I'm a producer, I'm not telling people what I did and what I didn't do. I'm the producer of so-and-so by so-and-so.
Yeah, getting a song placed is producing. You don't have to make the beat or work on the beat to be a
because in the
producer.
credits it doesn't say hi-hats by H3,
exactly.
drums by,
placed by.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't exist.
So yeah, whatever y'all agree on, but yeah, you definitely deserve something by getting it placed for sure. But that's just something everybody got their own price. Like I said, I know people, who will take half the record for simply placing it. And who am I to tell them they're wrong? You may still be on whatever place you at. You could be broke and this person changed your life. So,
and if the beat maker's super stoked to just get half and get something placed as opposed to stockpiling beats that aren't doing anything, I guess it works out.
Now, if I'm in the room and I suggest something, I'm not saying, that's not for anybody, but I'm just saying, like, say I book a studio session and the beat you made in here that I fronted the money for, yeah, that 5 is dead. We're definitely going up. I don't know what it would be, but I'm only talking about, hey, Stevo, here's 5 beats. Do what you want. If it gets placed, I just want 5.
That's hard.
Okay.
I was actually referring also to him joking about, like, just don't hop in the email thread talking crazy. Like, he was saying people would like jump in and, well, actually, I want this. And Parker's like, bro, you're going to literally fuck up the money for all of us. Like, just shut the fuck up.
And they're good for that. But that goes to my point of why, like, I'm telling you, you ain't getting the same amount. Like that, they start that shit. They just be like, yo, but I did this. I don't care if he used your bloop, how it came. Because he was talking about adjusting it, doing this.
Yeah, exactly. He was saying some crazy shit.
Just how it came. And I still don't care. To me, you don't deserve half.
That's crazy.
But they'll get in there if you say that. But I did. You used my loop just how you did. And like, yeah, and we're placing it. This you send it to me for a reason.
Right.
Like, but they do. It's the worst is when they send a loop or she sends a loop and you think it's a he or she and it's 4 people. Then they want you to break it down as if it's like, say Parker co-produced with Go Grizz and then they use a loop. They want you to split it 6 people rather than Go Grizz, Parker, and the entity.
Yeah,
they'll fuck up like that too.
Yeah,
they'll be like, yeah, we want to split it 6, and then the label will hit you like, we didn't know it was 6 producers. We thought it was 3. What y'all got going on? And then that's when Parker gets to what he's talking about. You're like, they about to be like, fuck the record. Because we didn't know it was all these parties and all this.
Yeah.
So they get to talking spicy and ruin everything.
That's definitely interesting.
2 or 3 people on a beat. You don't need more than that.
No, I mean, you can definitely have more, but to his point, it's that like, if you send something over to us, unless they make, and I think he made the point of like, unless you make it explicitly clear up front, you're going to assume that this is from one person that's going to get one piece of this publishing pie. But then when it's like a surprise, bitch, there's 6 of us. We each want an advance. We each want a fucking, points. We each want this amount of publishing. Like, that's when it gets like, man, fuck all this. Like, do we got any other simpler records to clear? Like,
and this is why also please put everyone's name who worked on the beat in the file name.
That would be amazing.
It's that easy. Put their, and I don't even like name. I put the @. I put their social media handle so you can find them. And you don't have to just guess what their social media shit is. Here's the 3 of our handles in the beat name. No confusion.
No, that's true. So take us back to the early days, right? You mentioned this before, Henry County, and you spent time between there, and then your pops, I think, had moved to the Swats on the west side of Atlanta. Talk to us about, like, those were vastly different experiences, right? Like, what did you learn, I guess, or like, how did each of those kind of like shape you into the Stevo that we have here today? Yeah.
So I was actually born on Washington Road, like literally Washington Road. So in East Point, but Camp Creek, you go 1 exit up, you're in Southwest Atlanta. But so my parents, they moved down to Henry County, and then when they split, he went back to the area. So I was familiar going back, but Henry County, when we first got down there in like 94, it was a good old boy town. Like, a lot of woods, gas station, no Walmart, no movie theater. Like, everything was in Clayton. Like, if you wanted to have fun, go to South Lake Mall, AMC 24. Like, that's what, all the parties, the little venues you can go to have a birthday party with American Legion, stuff like that. It was all in Clayco. So by the time I hit, like, it might have been even high school. I remember middle school, we got a bowling alley. And that was like our it spot. Like, that was the first thing we got. And we're like, we ain't got a Clayton. Like, all our parents can just go up the street and drop us off and don't have to go 15, 20 minutes up the road. Like, that was cool. But to see a county go from like country, because I don't know if you heard the statement, you get out of Atlanta and you're in Georgia. Henry County was Georgia.
Right.
But my dad worked in Atlanta too. So even with us living in Henry County, he worked for Bronner Brothers, which is a popular black hair care company. Like the Bronner Brothers show, everybody, like Ludacris mentioned it in Area Code, stuff like that. Or people all over the world, excuse me. But, and my sister went to Clark, Atlanta. So I always had the Atlanta reference even in Henry County. But I think when I was in middle school, it became like, it was like the 3rd fastest growing county in the country. So I saw like when the Walmart was built, when all these things were built, it started getting industrialized. But I also had those country friends, like the Confederate flags, the white boys drinking beer, stuff in the parking lot. Like, I saw that. But then when I would be with my dad, I would be in Greenbrier Mall, be on MLK at the AUC. And so I saw a lot of like black entrepreneurship, ownership, a lot of businesses and stuff like that. So it's just like, it gave me a well balance to just like people. Like, that's why like people get mad at sometimes, like, a couple, like, my redneck friends was cool to me. Like, I rode 4-wheelers and stuff growing up, like, and I've seen a deer been skinned and stuff.
God.
They were cool with me. Like, I ain't really running. Like, it was one thing in high school that got kind of racy, but I like it just taught me about people. So then when I saw the black success and then I had this white country success, it was just like, I don't know. That's why I'm a Georgia boy too. Like I just think I got the best like experience ever, just experiencing like, okay, black folks, white folks, like I just got it. And that's why like I could be a country boy, but also a city nigga, you know, whatever. Like,
yeah,
I just feel like I got the best of both worlds. Man,
yeah,
so.
it's interesting. I think it was 808 Blake who came on the podcast and talked about how like HBCUs aren't like real representations of the world because like it's just black people, right? And he didn't actually want to go to an HBCU. He like went for a year, I think, and then he transferred to Georgia because he wanted more of like a real world, like, you know, all different types of people, that sort of thing. Like you went to Clark though, right? Mm-hmm. Did you know, like being immersed in like, you know, an basically all black community at that point for college? Is that something that you think was like valuable for you, or did you think that it was kind of like a false sense of, you know, reality at that point?
I understand that perspective that Blake provided, and I've heard that from a lot of people. So that's a real perspective. But for me, like when my parents split and my dad moved to the SWATs, and by that time I was 2 years removed from driving. So like I would always drive up to the house after school. Like, you know, weekends I used to go to Figure 8. That was right across the street. Like it was nothing. So like I really fell in love with like Atlanta and that specific part of Atlanta. Like I'm saying, as soon as I could get out of Henry County, I was in Atlanta. Like as soon as I could drive, whatever. So when I had, I got a kid. I got a 14-year-old. So I had my kid my senior year. So I knew I had to stay home. So because I was good at basketball junior year, I had a scholarship offer to Winthrop, if I'm not mistaken. Lost that because I worked at Zaxby's that summer. Didn't play AAU going to senior year. Worked at Zaxby's, eating late, getting all. So I played basketball senior year, but I went from averaging 16 in game to like 11. Like nothing ended up shaping. So I was like, okay, Albany State, Clayton State, Clark Atlanta, Morehouse, and maybe I think I just did Savannah State. So I had to go somewhere in Georgia because I had a kid coming. So once Clark accepted me, I was like, oh, I'm good. Like I'm in Atlanta. I'm gonna stay with my dad because I could stay. I never stayed on campus because I had a kid. I didn't have to. So and then my sister went there. I was familiar with being around the AUC. So for me, I just was like, I love Southwest Atlanta. Like I'm good. I was fine with staying in my hometown, raising my daughter, and going to school here. It wasn't like I was going to be around black folks or I was looking for some certain experience. It was familiarity, and I just loved being in the city, especially the part where I was partly raised. So.
Yeah, no, for sure. So for someone who's never been to Atlanta, describe Atlanta in like a couple of sentences. I think Atlanta, and this is some propaganda, I'll keep it real, because we have our problems, but... Stevo propaganda.
Yeah, Stevo propaganda for sure. But like I said, my upbringing just showed me that like it's just a land where specifically black people, I'm only black, so I can only speak for that, is that like we could really make something of ourselves. Like, again, a lot of people get upset with me, not just black folks, but people like, to me, it wasn't a lot of things in my way to reach this whatever level of success I'm considered as. Like when I look back about like what was possible, or the grades, basketball, getting in music, to me, there was a lot of resources everywhere for me personally. And I don't think that could have happened anywhere but Atlanta. Cause like I said, the Slumdog Millionaire thing, a lot of this stuff, I didn't know I was gonna be in music, but a lot of relationships and friendships I had from the Metro Atlanta area overall came into fruition by being from here. And I just think that's a special thing that I don't know if it happens in other places. So I'll just say the resources, the people, and the ability and to see successful black people here, like that's not uncommon. So I know when I talk to people from other places, I'm sometimes talking from a privileged view because they don't know what that is. They're like, that doesn't happen where I'm from. So you can't have that perspective on the world when that's just specific to you. But I understand that. So Atlanta is just like, my dad used to take me around Gremont Mall and just be like, oh, this is black owned, or go down Cascade. He'd be like, this is black owned, this is black. And he worked for one of the biggest black owned companies. Like it's like the Russells, the Broners. I mean, you all know the Kings, the Williams. Like the fact that we can even run down those names, and then the Jacksons, Maynard Jackson, we've had a black mayor since I've been alive. Like it just seems like, what can I do? I've always had that attitude, just like, I've seen this. I can do, like, I see it. So, yeah. I mean, that was a little long. You said a few words. But
No.
That's good.
No, that's perfect. And I think that there's been crazy statistics shared on social media that I've seen about exactly that, of like, this is a very, opportunistic place for specifically like black Americans, right? Like we have one of the highest like success rates and like per capita like income, I don't know, like just all these like metrics, right? That like basically say that like black people can actually thrive. Atlanta is like one of those like top places in the country for sure.
Absolutely.
And so that's dope. Okay, so is Gremont Park like your first foray into like the music space?
Yeah. That's why it's still in my bio and all my social media. That is like, there's no Stevo without that foundation. That's my foundation into music for sure.
So for those that aren't familiar, talk to us about that like first entrance into the realm of music, right? Like what was Gremont Park? What were you doing? How did you even get started? You know, talk to us about that.
Yeah, this is around 2009, 10, maybe 11. I suck with dates. I'm always impressed when people can go like back in 76 and I can't do that.
So I've heard like 75-year-old like historic rock musicians that have been like, yeah, on May 12th in 1965, I was at this club. And I'm like,
I'm so impressed.
Did someone give them that like statistic or did they actually fucking pass through their like Alzheimer's to arrive at that?
We have like 3-year windows we can operate in.
That's exactly. So I'm like 9, 10, 11. It was one of those. I was in college. That's what I do know.
Yeah.
It was the big blog era time and Tumblr was huge. So I'm not a creator. I don't consider myself a creative. But Tumblr was the wave. Like I was always a Twitter guy, like Facebook guy. Something you just type, put a picture up, cool. So I was like, I gotta find a way to get on this Tumblr wave, but like I don't have cute pictures and snapback hats and all. Like I don't. So I was just like, okay, I like music. I'm gonna just start reviewing albums. That was my Tumblr thing. Just review. I remember I did like a Game album. I did a Drake album where I called him, it was Take Care, and I called him a girl the whole time. Like just trying to add my little jokes. Like if you follow me on Twitter, you just knew how I joke. So like I was just like, yeah, her album was amazing. Like, I was complimenting them, but I would just be like, she, stuff like that. But
that would not fly in 2022 now.
I mean,
I'm just kidding.
Hey, but I'm just a guy at college just doing this stuff.
Yeah.
But and everybody knows how like Take Care is just all sensitive and stuff. But so going to Clark, I met Nina Brown. And she was producing for the Frank Skinwanda show at the time because she actually came back later on and did it recently. But she had 3 girls who went to Clark who helped me out with this event. So that's how I met her through my friends at Clark. Yeah. And so I met her and she started following me on social media. So then she saw the stuff I would talk about on Twitter and she was like, oh, your album reviews are so funny. You should meet my brother. And I was like, okay. She's like, yeah, he works with Neo and some other stuff. And I was like, all right. So she had a kickball thing at Piedmont Park or something. And it was Noah's Ark. Yeah. And I was like, okay. Like we met, exchanged contacts. And then he was with one of like, a current good friend, Suli Chillis, who was going to Morehouse at the time. And so I remember like reconnecting with them at a Steve Stout, and it's crazy because I work for United Masters now. Yeah. Steve Stout had to drop this book.
Full circle.
Yeah. So I met, and I didn't meet Sue, but I saw that's like outside of Nina. I saw them. I was like, oh, what's up? Like, okay, we had the Steve Stout book signing, whatever, cool.
Yeah.
So then we just started just linking up more and more. So Noah was the connection to Gremont. Like, as we got cool and just talking about music, chopping it up. And I was like, yeah, bro, I'm just reviewing albums on, like, I'm from here. We just connecting, talking about what we do, et cetera. And I'm just a college student who goes to party on the weekends. I'm at Figure 8. I'm from here, though, blah, blah. So he's like, man, you should meet these 2 guys. They do music. A-Ware and Corey Davis. Corey tattoos. A-Ware works at the shop. But they do music, but they also got this blog. So I'm like, Atlanta has a blog? Like, because, it's 2 dope boys. It's Ashley Outrageous. It's Hustle Girl. Karen Civil, blah, blah, blah. Smoking section. So I'm like, Atlanta got a blog? Cool. So we used to call the house Gremont Mansion over there in little 5 Points area-ish. And I met Corey A-Ware, and he was like, yo, I've been kicking it with this dude. He writes funny reviews. What we think about him posting music on the blog, whatever. And we just sat there, had some beers and stuff, just chopping it up. And then they just like, yeah, like try it out, whatever. Here goes I'm gonna make you an email tomorrow and here's how you do it and stuff like that. So I was just like, me being from there, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to these shows and I'm gonna run up on people and like tell them, hey, I wanna post your music, send this to me. Cause as those people I just named, I didn't know what anybody looked like. So I was like, I'm gonna be the guy who puts a face. I doubt these artists are, even if the smoking section posts an artist from Atlanta, you don't know their name. You don't know what they look like. Like, I didn't know what Ashley Outrageous looked like for the longest. So I was like, I know they're going to feel good to see, like, there's a guy from a blog at my show. Like,
well, because this is like pre-Instagram blowing up.
Yeah, this is like, I'm saying it's like 2010, 11-ish. Like, the blog, because you had the Wale's, the J. Cole's. So the blog era was big. But like, yeah, Instagram wasn't that huge. But like I said, these people were just digital. So I was like, I'm gonna be the guy who's just in your face.
Yeah.
So that's how I got to know through Noah and Gremont as well, because with them working the City of Ink on Peter Street or Walker Street, which is still there now. Like everybody would come, so I would hang out there now. I mean, like my life changed because I was, like I said, the Atlanta guy going to Clark, AUC, and at Figure 8 and downtown underground clubs. When I met Noah and Gremont, that's when you get the Hollyweirds, the Grips, the Protons, like Mach 5, that was the name of their group. Mach 5 was like, it opened me up to a whole new side of Atlanta that being born and raised, I'm like, what the fuck?
Is here the whole
shit?
time?
Yeah, like what's this hipster shit? Like, what is this? So that's when I'm like the MJQs and the other shit, the other side. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? So through that, that's like, I was just like, I met the 2-9s, met Trinidad, like just by going to these shows I'm hearing about. And then eventually that's how I got my first artist, Milo. I was hanging out at City of Ink and my homegirl put me on because she was like, yo, you should post this artist. And so, Milo Smith.
Yeah.
So that like it just was a trickle effect from the Gremont shit and my whole lifestyle changing from being this club kid in Southwest Atlanta to now I'm hanging out at MJQ. Like,
yeah.
It was just a total flip, and that's all from Gremont.
That's crazy. What was your pitch to Milo? Or was she just like naive and just like, well, whatever, I guess this Stevo guy's my manager, has no experience in like, you know what I mean? Because she was like kind of, you know, she was buzzing a little bit, right, at the time.
Yeah.
So like, what was your pitch to her? Like, like why you?
I really want to know that answer to that question. I have no clue because like I can't remember if I met her before.
Like, did you say some slick shit? Like I'm trying to understand.
It was the Slumdog Millionaire thing again. I remember listening to because she dropped the project. By the time I was aware of it, and I ran it by Noah. I'm like, Noah, what you think of this? And he's like, nah, this shit dope. Like, she was cool. So I was like, man, yeah. I said, I think I'm gonna reach out and try to manage or whatever. And he was just like, okay, whatever. So I just called her, and I just remember pacing around my house, just like, look, you are super. I listen to Sweet 404. It is fucking amazing. Look, I've never managed anyone before. I don't even know what your situation is. And then she was like, no, I don't have a manager, whatever. I was like, okay, look, I've just studied the game. Because once again, like as I said, Ninja Turtles, Fast and Furious, whatever. I would also look at my favorite rappers and be like, okay, who is doing what? So I knew Coach K, not personally, but like I knew KP or Leor, Russell. Like I would look and see who the players were around all my favorite rappers. I'm saying KP from Outkast and Dungeon Family, Coach K, of course, the Jeezy stuff. Def Jam, of course, Leor Russell, all those, Kevin Loud, etc. So I knew like players, and then from that, as I was moving around meeting these artists, I meet like a Key Henderson or whatever, Key Open Doors. I meet Quinn. Like it's just all the Atlanta guys you see. Meezy was around throwing parties at clubs. Like Rachie, I went to school with. So at Clark, Atlanta. So it's just like I was knowing all these players. So I was just like telling her like, look, I kind of studied the game a little bit. I've read these books. I'm familiar. I know these people. I can get you on show. I know people who throw shows. So all I can just tell you, like, I believe you. I would really love the opportunity. I didn't even bring up no money, nothing. Just I literally love the opportunity. Just like let's work. And I said, I promise I can just get you some shows. And she's like, let me think about it. Whatever. I want to say it was the next day. It may have been 48 hours, but I know it was no longer than a week. She was like, let's do it, man. She's like, there's nothing to like, let's just try it. And we just went and got showed. Like, we just were doing shows like every week, it felt like. And it just went from there. So it wasn't an extravagant pitch. It was really it sounded boring to me. It was really that boring. And she just
here's the value I can bring, and here's a free trial. What can go wrong?
No, I think what what resonated with me the most, because I think this is exactly the type of person I was when I started getting into the game like a few years ago now at this point. I knew all the people. I knew Key Henderson, and now I have her phone number and text with her and shit. But like I knew who the fuck she was. Quinn, like I knew him and like saw him then like managing, Tate and like what he was doing at Stream Cut. Like I knew all these people, and like even Henry was like, how the fuck do you know like who that is? Like I didn't know them personally, just like you. Yep. Now I do know some of them, just like you clearly now can pick up the phone and call Coach K and like these people that you just like were fascinated by. Like that's like I'm hearing it and I'm like, holy shit, like this is literally me. Of like I just loved like seeing these people aren't doing this on their own. Like who is next to them? Like who's in that picture? Like let's click through to that person. Like fuck going through this artist feed. I want to now like click through to the next person who's standing right beside them.
Yep. That's
or that they shared on their story. I'm like, if they shared on their story, they probably fuck with the person maybe, right? Let's see who that is. And then you start understanding like who these like behind the scenes, kind of movers and shakers as they call it are. And like that's what I heard from that is that like, yo, if you want to get in the music business, like fucking study this shit. First of all, like know who's doing this, like, and doing it well, and like see who's who. Because to your point, if you pull up to an event, you want to be armed and ready to like shoot your shot because you see them at this thing or whatever, right? Because that's, you know, that's like the biggest thing, because you might walk right past someone who literally, you know, if I didn't like do my research on you, I would have showed up to the court and there's a fuck ton of people that play basketball with us that aren't in the music shit.
Yep.
But whoa, put me on that league with Cam, and I was like, there's got to be someone here that I like recognize. I knew you, and I was like, I got to introduce myself to Stevo for real, because like I respect what you're, you know, what you're doing, man.
Speaking, that's how I met Cam, actually. I mean, excuse that. When I was saying I met Noah through Sully, we met, whatever, and then they were Cam and they were throwing a show, Schoolboy Q's first show in Atlanta.
Oh wow!
And I just like, I remember I was at the City, everything just. I was at City of Ink, the tattoo shop, and
that's Tuki's spot, right?
Yeah, Tuki Maya. Yep. And they were, what are they doing? I think it's like a meet and greet that was supposed to be there, and I didn't know. So Sully pulls up and they're like, "Yeah, we're throwing the show tonight." And I remember, and Noah was there, and and that's how I met Cam that day, and because they went to Morehouse together.
Yeah.
And I remember just getting in the car and helping with the show, like. Didn't even know. I was just like, yo, what's up, guys? I'll just hang out in the shop. Like, yo, we throwing Schoolboy Q. We're getting, because it was a free show. And it's like, we're just getting canned goods, like getting everything set up. People donate canned goods. They get a ticket to the show. Whatever. So I was like, there's like, Schoolboy Q's going to be here in a while. Then we got to take him to his hotel. Then we got to go to center stage. And I just hopped in the car and just helped with production.
Yeah.
Right place, right time.
Yeah. So I met Cam Kirk that day. Schoolboy Q's first show.
Amazing. So, you know, you have not had an internship, clearly. You basically hit the ground running from, you know, the Gremont Park to then the management days, right? Like, is there any way that you look at not having a official mentor coming up and not having an internship? Do you think that benefited you in any way? Because people would look at it as like a disadvantage. Do you see any like, this actually helped me because of XYZ, or do you think it was like a disadvantage only?
No, I mean, I definitely believe in, like, it helped me. You wouldn't know me today, the same guy in the business at least, with like if I got an internship. But, you know, shout out to my institution, Clark Atlanta University. Our slogan is find a way or make one. And I think if you meet anybody from Clark Atlanta, we believe in that statement like no other. And I think this was a prime example of like, my thing was, if I don't have an internship, if I don't have an OG, if I don't have, my relationships were all lateral. I didn't have any, like, I know I can call a big dog and get something done. I was like, I got to figure it out and hope like that'll show if I want an A&R job, if I break some artists, they'll be like, oh, we got to have that guy on our team. So my thing was just like, I'm going to figure it out some kind of way. And now as I see like, now that I'm older and I see the younger guys like link with some of my peers, I'm seeing like I'm just going to say it. Because me and Barry did a panel the other day. He was like, man, y'all got this shit good. Like, not saying y'all don't have to grind, but this shit is good. Because we spoke to not a class, but it was Kyle and Tez's
Project Go Dark.
Project Go Dark.
Yeah.
So they were all, they're all paid interns. So like,
who are basically getting teamed up with like the fucking Avengers of the Stevos and the Barrys of the world.
Yeah. So Barry was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like,
there was this before.
Yeah. And I'm only saying this because it's public. Like he said it in the panel on video.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing how beneficial it is. So as much as like we're being funny and talking shit, like I see it paying out. Like you see Kyle. I think Kyle's only 25, maybe.
Not
like,
even, bro.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe even younger. Like I'm seeing, and it's salute to Kyle. Like ever since I met him a year ago, whatever it was, like I'm already seeing like, oh shit. But
bro, he was episode 5 of our podcast.
5.
So that'll tell you how long he's been doing his thing. Like
exactly.
But also I think even he would tell you how like priceless it's been to have Tez, be there. Like
absolutely.
Which only adds to how more incredible Kyle is. So that's my point. It's like, dang. I do like, I don't have any regrets, but I look at some of the young folks, I look at Mon and Barry. Like I'm watching that and I'm just like, dang, that's dope as hell. Like, so I just sit back and just like, what if I had somebody? Yeah. But I have no regrets. I'm perfectly fine. Like I said, Clark Atlanta, find a way to make one. I made something shake. I got in this business when I started managing, say I want to be an A&R. I'm an A&R now. It took me a longer road, but hey, I made something shake. So there was no disadvantage. It's just sometimes I do look and be like, an OG would have been nice.
Some of those fuck ups would have probably been avoided.
It would have been cool if I couldn't have if I have a contact, I could just call my guy and be like, yo, I'm trying to get this. All right, I'll call him for you.
Yeah.
Would have been nice.
So moving from, Milo to then I think there was like a very small overlap where you had Maco.
Very small.
Yeah. and so like talk to me about the growth of you as a manager from the days with Milo to then even like working with Maco, right? Like what do you think you did better? Right? Like how did you improve? Like how did you elevate yourself as a manager?
What would you tell young Stevo?
Nobody ever asked me that before.
That's why we're here at the One More Time podcast.
One more time.
Yeah.
I think, once again, I'm kind of cocky. So like I already thought, even though it was my first
I
time
didn't
with
fuck
Milo,
anything up. I did it perfect.
I thought I was doing a great job with Milo. Which, I mean, I still stand by it. I thought we did great.
Yeah.
But the difference between Milo and Maco was I was getting introduced to a lot of the players through Milo, which every interview you can go back, there's no Stevo without Milo. Like, that's it, point blank. Just as Gremont is my foundation into the game, Milo is, she gave me the foundation of I can do this in this game. Without her, and I'm saying, to me, you can work your move without a talented artist, but it was because she was so talented that a lot of these doors open for me. So with her, it was always like, I got to get my artists in front of people, and then that'll get me to like know the players. So it did. Like I always say the same name, Jeff Vaughn. I met him through Milo. Double, one of my good friends now, like works at RCA, Lotto A&R, and Childish Gambino's A&R. Like these are people like I met Joey IE, and then Ty, where I tied with Brent. Met him through Milo, even though he's a local Atlanta guy, but like through Milo is we met. So I mean all these players because I managed Milo. And with Maco, it was like, okay, I'm not a big dog, but I can call the phone. I can call Derek, Jeff. So when people were reaching out trying to sign Maco, there was already it was no who is this guy? Who do I talk to? It was just call Stevo. Like so, the difference was not in my functionality because I think I'm organized, I'm timely, I got relationships, I'm respectful. Like I'm not gonna fuck nothing up. But with Maco, the difference was I could kind of shop him. Versus Milo, I was just getting into the game trying to figure out the lay of the land. So it wasn't about like, but I know that made me a better manager. But it wasn't like my skills got better. I mean, you get better with, of course, like
your tools got better.
Yeah, the tools got sharpened, but like the major difference was Milo, I didn't know anybody outside of Atlanta really, and we were all learning. We were both learning this together. Versus Maco, like I remember once we got Bitch You Guessed It, I was emailing people I knew or calling them saying, I got this guy, this record's about to go crazy. And even if the calls weren't, okay, Stevo, send it, like, this is crazy too. Some of them were like, I don't know. But when they went crazy, they reached back, Stevo, what we doing?
Yeah.
But it was already a familiarity there. And so that was the major difference from Maco and Milo.
How crazy did that record go? My God.
Yeah.
It was everywhere.
I wish the digital age, Vine was going crazy, Instagram was crazy, but there was no
streams.
Yeah, it was no streams.
Yeah.
It was iTunes, but no streams. That's the
wah.
a few years early.
You might have got more sales though.
Yeah.
'Cause people don't really buy now. They're still kind of buying music.
Yeah.
I mean, they were pirating the fuck out of music
For
at that
sure.
point.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Because it was too expensive.
Yeah.
Because now I pay $10 a month and I have unlimited access to every fucking song at the highest quality level, no bullshit, half-baked MP3s. So you already alluded to this though. You met Parker through OG Maco and the OGG, I guess, collective of theirs, right? So what was the mindset shift like though for you going from artists to producers? Because we've had people talk about this before and it's a completely different ball game. When you're managing an artist versus a producer, wouldn't you say? I mean,
oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So like, what do you think specifically for those out there that are maybe looking to manage one or the other? What was the biggest mindset shift for you?
It goes, like I said, the way I taught y'all, everything like kind of comes back to something I said before, something I lived before, but I didn't know if I was good at managing a producer or not. So I remember Parker asking me, did I want to manage him earlier on? And he was like, him and Deco were both, that was another one of the producers Maco came with, but they weren't a group or nothing. But Parker reached out to me and said, it was like 4 people, and I do not remember the name, forgive me, Parker, but it might be some producers who were in that collective that's under his neutral collective now, but it was like 5 of them. And I just never met him. And he was like, yo, we need help. We produce. You want to manage me? And I was just like, I could do this artist shit, but I don't know about this producer shit. Like,
and there's 5 of y'all.
Yeah, and it's 5 of y'all. I said, I don't want to commit to something and fail. Like, I don't do things I'm not good at. Like, I have no problem saying no because I'm not going to look stupid. Like, that's, I don't do that. I don't look stupid. I'm not afraid of failing, but looking stupid, Like, I had to have some kind of like confidence because then I could deal with looking stupid because I'm confident. So as Maco was growing and I'm building more relationships, A&Rs and managers are like, you got beats? Yo, we need this feature from Maco. You got a record? You got an open verse on something? And I'm just like, oh shit. Like, I just like, I can't wait to get back to Atlanta. Like, so after people started asking me, I was like, Parker, I still don't know what I'm doing, but people are asking me so I can now place like, you got beats? Yes, here. And I'm saying, y'all saw the first record I ever played, it just went platinum, even though it's 2014, 28 years later, K-Camp's 100 featuring Fetty Wap.
Yeah, that's OG and Deco.
OG and Deco. That was the first record where like they're like our first.
I love that song.
As a manager, I put him like, I'll never forget, I was in the studio just recording, as I still do today. Like we working and it was a beat and K-Camp hit me because we cool. Like, yo, what is that? And it wasn't that beat, but he's like, yo, who is this? And I was like, oh, the producer I'm working with. Send me something.
Send a pack.
That first pack was 100 was in there.
I'll let you count my money, baby.
Yeah.
So was it really just the fact that people were asking you for beats that gave you the confidence, though, to try this producer man? Because, you know, to your point, you were staying clear of anything that you didn't feel like super confident in, but just the fact of like placing a beat with someone and them fucking with it, you were like, I can fucking do this. I can do this producer manager thing.
Yeah, because you got like, I never even mentioned this kind of process. But like when I managed Milo, the tape was out. And it's so crazy because one of the major producer who she got all the beats from was Chris Kaler, who I'm good friends with Isaiah Rashad. That would end up being his main producer. So like everything's just full circle. But like she found those beats. So like when we worked on the next project, like she was leading the way on getting beats from people. Like, I didn't really. I'm trying to think, was there any? I introduced her to Ducko McFly. That might have been the
Shout
only.
out Ducko, the toughest guy in town.
Yeah, so like
toughest.
That may have been on the second project. That may have been the only one that I reached out to, but she went and got the other beats for the next one. So when Maco, Key and Give, that was produced by Brandon Thomas. Like the Give 'Em Hell project with Key and Mac. I didn't do that. Like that was them. So like when it came to produce, like I never put people in the room. So when people were calling me, I was like, the least I can do is just place part. Like I need beat. That's all I could do. So yeah, I needed that to be confident to manage someone because I never dealt like even with my own, and I didn't handle the admin work.
The like producer.
Yeah, because Milo was independent, so we were just like it was all relationship based.
Yeah.
And I said there was no streaming. Like nobody was really tripping on paperwork like that. Like
it was like, yo, if you can sell something,
it was all live mixtape.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it was. There wasn't even. I mean, it was album, but we wouldn't put our music up there.
Yeah.
So there was no paperwork to handle.
Yeah.
So Parker really liked that side. And then Maco signed the QCs when I first learned about the admin work and all stuff like that. So
because they don't play.
Yeah, so I really literally had zero clue about the producing side. At publishing, I understood the concept when it came to an artist, but like I said, I had no reason to know until, like I said, people started asking for beats, and that's what gave me the confidence.
So what did you see in Parker specifically, do you think?
Oh, the talent. And then I'm saying, like, we just had a conversation because we were just all reminiscing in our group chat, all sappy. But we were just like, dang, look how far we came. Like, because like we all like, you know, got cribs now. Like, I've been had a family, but like, you know.
Yeah, I was like, you had a family in high school.
Yeah. So yeah, I had that. You know, Melita got her, what she got going on, Parker, he got going on. So we just growing up and just looking at our success and just like, damn, like, I was broke as hell when we signed the Q, like, because Melita gave me the call when I was at Herb Gang's house. Black was there when she was like, P wants to meet with you. Like, again, full circle. Now that's my partner. You know, everybody knows, like, you know, Black G, Herb, they're all friends of ours. And then like QC, like, it's just crazy. So Melita actually called me and was like, yo, P want to link and see about Maco. And I was at Herb Gang's house in Southwest Atlanta. But it's just crazy how shit just goes. Yeah, I'm losing my train of thought of what I was even answering. But yeah, bro. Oh yeah, how we were reminiscing. Like, and I was just telling him, like, bro, when I first heard it's a beat, because this what happened. P just signed Maco, and P was like, because he came across him when he went to the studio at Blue Room. Maco had a session with Johnny Cinco. I'm saying he wasn't signing anything. P having to walk in when Maco was recording the verse, and they was like, yo, he ain't even writing shit. He just in there going crazy. And people don't know Maco was screaming, but he really could rap. So he was in there with a bandana like Pac. That's how P remembered. He's like, it was some nigga in there. Rap like Pop, man, bandana talk like Pop, whatever. So he was like, so when he wanted to sign him, he heard Bitch You Guessed and all that. He came to the studio and he was like, yo, the first time I met you, you just recorded a song, no right. He's like, do it again. And Mac was like, shit, Parker, you know, Parker was there. He's like, pull up something. And if you go listen to the Live Life 2 mixtape that Craig McCardo did, Parker has the only beat that's not by Cardo. I think that's the tape. Lord forgive me if I'm wrong. But I think Parker got the only beat that's not Cardo, and it's him and Johnny Cinco. And that song was like almost a one take thing. Like Maco went in there, but that beat,
and it was a test from P.
It was a test from P. But that beat, if you listen to it now, that's like I was like Parker. Like I just told him this like 2 days ago. I was like, that's when I knew like, yo, I knew you was amazing because he got the Love in the City, Maco. We shot a video for it's just a random record that Parker did. Is great, but like that song with Cinco, I was like, yo, you're sick. And then seeing his work ethic, spending the night in the studio, being ready to jump up and get all these placements, I was like, oh yeah. So when it was time that's why I had no shame, because that's another thing. Like, I didn't care about just being people like, yo, you got beats? Yeah. Because I was like, he's amazing. Like, and I know he's working. So it was just easy to just, I got beats.
Yeah.
Here you go. OG Parker.
No, that's dope.
Yeah.
So I actually coined this phrase, but it was taken from one of your thought processes. No beat left behind.
Okay. I like it. I think I know where you're going.
I think you know where I'm going.
I think I do too.
Basically, you spoke on the fact that like if someone hits you for a certain style of beat for a certain artist or whatever, you're not afraid to fucking send the same one at a later date.
Facts.
Because those motherfuckers might not have even listened to it the first time.
Facts.
The beat's still hard. It still fits the fucking ask. So you're sending the same shit sometimes.
That is a fact. It goes back to that. We got to put up shots. Like, if I believe in the music and you're asking me for a certain sound, I'm not going to exit out. Like, no. And then I love the stories. I'm sure we all love stories when we hear about, oh, this record was for Mary J. Blige and it was Rihanna's. And
Yeah.
Like, so my thing, I've seen tweets where people like, this beat is crazy. And I'm like, you had it. Like, your A&R had this. Like, I'm saying, like, I've seen it too many times to count. It's so funny. Like, I'll just be on Twitter rambling. And they'll just be like, yo, Meg Thee Stallion would kill this. And I'm like,
She had it.
she had it. Like, I'm like, little do you know, she had it. And that's not a fact, by the way. If anybody sees this, I just threw out Meg. But
because it's the odds of like, okay, what are the odds that they actually going to hear it? They're actually going to like it. They're actually going to record and finish a song to it. And then they actually put it out. All that has to happen for that beat to actually be locked up.
Yep, exactly.
And creativity is such a like that moment thing. You might have been in a shitty mood when you heard it the first time. You might have been fucking talking to a girl in the studio and you fucking missed it. Like what? You might have been in the fucking bathroom when it was. I don't even know. Whatever. There's like infinite amounts of things.
You might have played it off the phone and missed the bass line.
Yep.
Completely.
How many experiences do you have placing beats like that? Like, do you vividly know, like, haha, gotcha. That's the second time I sent it, and now you like it.
No, because I don't keep, like, it's certain beats that I love that, and I'm saying it hasn't happened with any of them because I would know.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, I know more that, like, I've sent this beat to a lot of people, and it finally got placed. And, like, but the one that I'm just like, I'm going to sneak this back in, I don't think it's happened yet, to my knowledge. I don't think it's happened yet.
Okay. I was hoping for like some crazy...
my formula sucks right now with that. As much as shit I was talking.
I was like, damn. Because that was such a cool like strategy. I was hoping for him to be like, yeah, we got 5 platinum plaques off of those beats. We got 10 golds. 1 might turn diamonds, whatever.
But I mean, I've definitely like the songs, but like Dirk's, oh my God, I don't have it. It's Streets in the title.
Off of the latest project?
No, not the latest project. It was a couple tapes ago.
Okay.
But that one, like, I threw in something that, like, I just want to hear a street rapper be on it. Like, but it's real slow. It's like an R&B song. Like, even if you hear it come on, like, you don't know it's a Dirk song, you know what the fuck? You'll be like, Dirk's on this? But that whole pack was, like, turned up drill shit. And that was the last beat I added because that was just on some, yo, I love this fucking beat. And I want to hear a street person. And it's like, I sent it to his manager, Dilla, and I was just like, like he just asked for some beats. But like that was just like on some selfish, I really wish a street rapper would get on this. And I sent it to people. And like I really like Derez Deshawn would have been perfect for it. But because he's in that pain, slow type of shit. But Dirk got on it and I'm like, damn.
He heard what you heard.
Yeah, he heard what I heard. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Because the whole pack was just turned up shit in that last one. I'm like, damn, that means they had to go through it.
It's funny the amount of artists that like
did it for the streets. I think that's the name of the title song.
Okay. The amount of artists that like you send them beats that you think that they would want, and those aren't actually the beats they're looking for. They're you like get up like curate a pack like, oh, that's what they want, and then the artist will be like, nah, I want like what else you got?
Yeah,
But
with some artists, like, and I don't know if they have this relationship with everybody, but like some people you could text their phone, but like I mean, I'm not afraid of getting turned down. Like, if you say I can text your phone, but I'm only sending like 1 or 2 at a time. Like, and then I gotta hear. It's just like, it ain't even like you told me something. I just like, yo, I just hear you on this, and then they'll just be like, nah, or like, I'll see what I can do, and then it's whatever. But actually, it goes back to just put up those shots because you just never know.
So more shots with less beats, more consistency. You're not sending like a 50 pack.
Oh, I don't do that. Like, I know that works for some people. I know once their producer sends them, they like, yo, I ain't sent you nothing in a month. Here goes 100. Do it. I know some people who send the file. They'll just be like, bet. A&R here. They'll not even listen to it.
Yeah.
Copy paste. Here you go. I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm not doing that. I personally am always attaching the song because I'm like, what if you're in the car and y'all riding? You don't have time to download the WeTransfer. I want you to have accessible, like, because I had like, Romano got a song with Herb and Bia, but it's not Herb's song. But like Herb's management reached out and they were like, yo, we in the car, we trying to listen to some beats now. I'm like, okay, cool, but that's my method anyway. Like, attach it to the email so you can plug your phone up, click, and it's ready to go.
Or just text the beat now.
So I'm into that. I don't send links.
Zips.
Zips. I don't do that.
So out of all the accolades that you guys have achieved, right, like specifically maybe with Parker, what are some of your like most proud manager moments, right? Because, you talked about reminiscing recently. Like, was there one like, yo, like, can't believe we went platinum with this artist? Or even if it's like, not a plaque related thing, you know what I mean? Are there any things you kind of point to as like, damn, we did that shit?
I mean, even though it's not an end goal, but getting a pub deal was a dope experience. Because I mean, just how like most people want to sign an artist, sign a producer. Like, so signing the first producer, like doing both with Romano and Parker. I know you just asked for, but like
no, but still
doing
Romano,
both those deals. That was. I'm always, like I said, I'm never gonna get tired of wins. So it's like if I sign 50 more producers, it's just like, I'm gonna be excited. So doing their first deals was an achievement. Of course, those first plaques are crazy. I'm proud of Park. Like, I don't know, the biggest one. Those are the biggest.
No, those are great.
I'm just proud of their consistency.
It's insane. I mean, I'm like thinking I'm gonna get a break from Stevo posting like a new Parker and Romano placement, and it's just like you're on my head.
Yeah,
it's like, oh yeah, we're on Meg's project, like whoever I'm just throwing out people. I'm not even sure which ones he's been on recently, but it's just like a nonstop influx of fucking Parker and Romano hits and hits and hits.
And like, so for two, like, so
like Chris Brown, fucking whatever. It's just like incredible.
Yeah, Parker and his vision, like even for how he sees his neutral stuff, and now he has his first artist with Amani, like him being the leader he is, and like I said, and also remaining hungry is what's impressed me the most. Because like he could have easily kicked his feet up and said, I'm good. Like he could have, but he's not. And then with Romano, I call him the hardest working guy in music. Like he does it all. He's got hits where he writes, he's got hit where he's produced, he's got hits where he's done both. And like he just, whatever needs to be done to the record to make it successful and make it sound the best, he can literally do. So I'm saying if it's a hook or a melody needs to change, like he'll hop off the producer and be like, let me hop in the booth and let me try this real quick. And I'm just so proud of seeing him. Like, he's so vocal in sessions. He's not afraid to like attempt, like, it's just dope watching Romano work. Like, so that's it. With Parker, it's consistency and leadership. And with Romano, it's his relentlessness to like always show up and do whatever the record needs to be done to make it successful for everybody.
Oh, he sounds like, and just how you've described him, like an insane role player of just like whatever needs to be done, we can count on this guy to fucking get it done so that it takes it to that next level.
100%. I'm like, if he's the main guy, he'll take over. If he's the fault, like, it's just whatever needs to be done. And that's the, like, I always say, I'm like, bro, you so blessed because you have that attitude. And like, he's so humble, but also being one of the best and hottest producers out. And I'm saying, these guys, we really blessed to work with them. So yeah, man.
That's amazing.
So proud of those guys.
That's amazing. So how does the United Masters gig come about?
Yeah, it goes back. You know me, nothing just happens for me. My guy Juju.
Shout out Juju.
Juju, my AUC brother with the Morehouse. He's over there working, and I can't remember. Excuse me, y'all know my timelines, but he told me he was over there, and there were some
14,
openings.
15, 16.
Yeah, you know how it goes. But this is last year, and he told me there were some openings, and I guess Mike, the head of A&R, and Dave, the head of marketing, they came down to Atlanta, and I've been known Dave for years when he was here, and living in Atlanta. That's what I mean by here. And we just sat in the studio, just chopping up about music, whatever. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was getting like, I didn't know if it was a legit interview or not, but I thought even if it was for a whole different position. So then we're just chopping it up. I'm just going with the flow. And then, get a call back like, hey, we love to offer you opportunity. So Juju, I'm sure he was putting in a good word for me. That's my brother. So he put me on like, there's something, we got openings. They came to Atlanta, sat with them, and then they offered me a gig.
Were you even, and so what is the gig? Is it A&R? Okay, yep. And so like, what does that day-to-day look like, right? Because United Masters, everyone knows, is a distribution company, correct? So like, what does an A&R at a distribution company even look like? From like what are you doing?
Yeah,
so that people understand. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. United Masters, we have different tiers to where like you can just put up your music through our distribution platform.
Like if Ben wants to fucking release a song, I can upload it. The next day.
Exactly.
Shit.
So we have that platform where you get put in the pool of like with Madden considerations, the deals we have with certain movie production stuff. Like you'll be in the pool, but like there's no like it's just a distribution service. Just like a distro crib would just upload your music. Like you don't have any expectations. But with us, it's a little that you could look up and get some benefits of being through United Masters platform.
Yeah.
You can make certain playlists, whatever, just through just being on United Masters.
They seem to work closer with their artists than other companies.
Right. So then you have those. This is where we come into play to where we're looking to actually add value to artists' careers. Like, so we're finding artists that we believe in at any level. It could be extremely successful. It could be, hey, you're just making music in your mom's basement. Like, and we can actually say, hey, we're looking forward to, adding to this journey while you always completely own, your masters. So our job is to, discover talent, how we discover, everybody has their own methods. And we try to, bring them in and see what we can do. We offer our service on the A&R, on marketing, on digital promotions, whatever's necessary to break the artist and have retain ownership and have them create long careers or whatever kind of career they want. We can do single deals too. If you just look in hey, I got this song going crazy on TikTok, I need some support to get it outside of TikTok, we can step in that way too. And so it's our job to find records from all kinds, like I said, from the lowest of the low to the hot on TikTok to in the streets. We got a guy who works in our Latin department. He is fucking killer. Gerardo, so we just find talent from all over the world. And
what are your methods?
It's so crazy because, bro, I've told the story. Y'all have heard me. I literally have never discovered anyone in my life. Like Milo came by recommendation.
Oh, I mean,
Maco came by
Noah. First of all, Noah seems like this, whisperer in your ear of just like dope shit.
Yeah, Maco came through because he was with Key, came through that. Kenny Mason, we discovered the artist I manage now. Sakura was kind of through Noah. So like nothing's ever came from Stevo walked outside or Stevo scrolled the internet and he just found someone and he decided to call them. Everything has been recommendation to me, and I am blessed. It's just I trust my discernment to say, because as much as everything's been recommended, we're all talking about the wins. There's been some bullshit recommended too.
For sure.
So I just didn't, I was just like, I'm straight on that. So
yeah, so it's the ear. It's being able to.
It's just trusting my discernment. Yeah, so I tell people all the time, I'm old school. If you want to get my attention, go tell 3 of your friends to walk up to me before you. Like, because I'm going to be like, this the 3rd person who brought up Kalamazoo.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Kalamazoo? Why don't I know Kalamazoo? So it's like, but if you come up to me, I'll listen. I'm a nice guy. I'll give anybody my number, etc. But like,
oh, so that's how I got your number. Because anybody is fucking
I'm a nice guy.
If you're any podcast.
Yeah, you're confident enough to run up. Yeah, look, it doesn't mean I'm going to answer for you every time. I tell y'all, like, it has to be worth it.
Okay, he does text me back.
Yeah, like, this cool. I'm saying, and then he got the UNC thing, so he's locked in for life anyway.
Okay.
But
thank you, Tar Heels.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
But for me, it's just like I don't create FOMO for me. Like, because everybody's going to believe in themselves. Like, of course you think you're the dopest artist. Of course you think you're the dopest producer. You're supposed to. But like, so if I talk with people all day, every day, my email's flooded, Instagram DM's flooded, there has to be something to cut through. And to me, what's always cut through is, because even if I am not convinced by the music, I could be convinced that you got people to like your music. So that's the big, like, what I say about producers versus artists. You're showing me that you can galvanize some troops. Like, I don't need to see thousands. But if you show me, if people in my Instagram comments, real people, not spam, are like, you need to check out Kalamazoo, I'm going to be like, who the fuck is Kalamazoo? So that would be my thing is, if I'm going to discover somebody, manipulate me and tell me, like, have other people hit me. because then I'm a wonder what's going on.
Stream
that's-
Kalamazoo's new project. Link below.
Kalamazoo.
Kalamazoo EP coming soon. Good
Straight
deal.
out of
So-
Lansing, Michigan.
Yeah. So we had Deshaun on.
My guy.
Right?
Where you go to school? Clark and Lansing
He's a
University.
CAU guy. Okay, that's right. I forgot. So, we've talked about this multiple times. Define A&R for us, right? Because everyone has their own definition of it, what it really means to them. Like, give us your Stevo definition of A&R.
The job title, I think universally is, and I think this goes for publishing and label side. And if you're just working with the artist who's just independent, they give you the title of A&R, you're the manager of the music. So, and that's administration too. I know some people separate A&R and A&R admin, which it is two separate jobs, but if you're A&R, you're expected to know all of it. So I'm saying that's from knowing the sessions, booking, having the session forms, doing the writer splits, putting your artists in a room, or say if you work for a publisher, putting your writers and artists and writers in a room, producers in a room, keeping track of all that, budgeting, of course, signing new acts, which is everybody's favorite part. They think that's the whole job.
Are you doing that at UM?
Yep, I just did. I just admitted Spice's album, who the Jamaican artist, the reggae artist. Her album came out last week, Emancipated.
Okay.
So everybody go check that out.
So that's through UM?
Yeah, that's through UM. She's an independent artist.
That's
She's out of
dope.
her label situation. So this is the first time releasing an album independently.
Nice.
It was number 1 on Apple.
Hell yeah.
Going crazy. That was all her team. I'm always clear about credit. I just A&R admin. She produced half that album.
Wow.
They came in with it done. I just handled, getting it out. Everything's properly filed and stuff like that. But salute the team Spice, and I think it's Stealth Worldwide. Great album.
Nice.
But yeah, so I do all of that. And am I missing anything? Yeah, and then get your hard drive, because you always with people. All the departments are gonna reach out to you for the music. So you want to make sure, I need stems. I need acapella.
Yeah.
I need instrument. You're supposed to have that. You're supposed to be the manager of the music. They shouldn't have to hit up the artist team. They're hitting up you. So marketing is yo, I gotta go do this. Can I get the clean version? I'm going to Nickelodeon, or the playlist person say, hey, I gotta go to talk to Spotify. You got this version? They gotta talk to me.
Yeah.
So for A&R, you're the manager of the music, but that doesn't mean you're all, because I think I'm a marketing guy too. I've done marketing stuff too. So if I have an idea, I'm going to pitch it as well. But that's, like I said, that's not artists and repertoire. Like I said, you really can, but I'm just trying to keep it, conformed so people get it. So
Yeah.
A&R ended manager of the music, the artist's music.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. So what can we be looking forward to? Any big, things coming up that you want to make sure you get to speak on?
For me personally, I always look out for Sakura. We got new music coming. That's the artist I manage out of
Yep.
Atlanta. Singer, songwriter, producer.
Her voice is incredible.
Oh,
man.
thank you. Yeah, so that new music will be out definitely before the end of the year. Parker, we're gonna keep making hits for sure. But shout out Parker, his new artist Amani, R&B artist. So look out for her.
Yep.
Romano, he's gonna stay penning hits, producing hits. But he's working with artists, this tandem Stress Gods. So look out for what he's got going. He's produced. He's taking the lead on them. Dope collective. Y'all know my partner Melita. Over there at Warner, she's going crazy. She got her own publishing entity she's going crazy with. So salute to the team. And, me over at UM, hopefully I sign my first act. We're in negotiations, so hopefully by the time this comes out, I can maybe tweet, this is who I was talking about. So I'm not going to speak on it right now, but hopefully it goes through. I think we're in the closing times of it. So hopefully I sign my first act over there. And yeah, man, look out for the UM. We got a lot of dope stuff coming. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep it, because right now the acts we have signed, not me personally, but as a company, we about to turn it up. So
Hell yeah.
yeah,
That's
man,
dope.
You gotta get crazy.
For sure. Henry, we have entered a final segment of the One More Time podcast.
Indeed, we have. I think I remember. Got it. Stevo, this is the Rapid Fire Rampage.
All right,
Buckle up, Stevo.
It's a 3-part rampage.
if I fuck up, I'm Anthony Anderson.
Okay. Yeah, we'll blame it on him. Got you.
If he crushes it, he's Steven Dingle,
Yeah, exactly.
aka
Yes,
Stevo.
indeed. So I'm going to start with some short answer questions, just some real quick back and forth. We're going to get into a this or that, where I'm going to give you 2 choices and you pick one. And we're going to end it with a word association. Throw you one word, you just throw something right back at me.
All right.
Starting with the short answer. Episode 72, Stevo. Stevo, why do you get up in the morning?
To attack the day.
Will the Falcons or the Hawks be the first to win a championship, and what year will it be?
The Hawks, 2026.
Reasonable. In the next 30 seconds, invent a sport.
30 seconds. Dang, that sport exists.
You tweak something, maybe.
I would do. I'm sorry, it kind of exists, but it's not in this way. I would do frisbee, but into a hole, not the cage thing, but like frisbee into it. Got to go in a hole kind of thing.
So like a giant golf hole.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's
frisbee size.
So the frisbee golf
hole.
exists, but not the cage thing. The cage is tough, but it has to fall into a hole.
Oh wow.
Okay. You've just opened a strip club in Atlanta. What do you call it?
Oh, Stevo's. Period.
Such an awesome strip club name.
We're going to Stevo's tonight.
Tonight, it's lit. Stevo Sundays.
Yeah, right there. Hey.
Damn, we're on to something.
Yeah.
If you were an animal, what would you be and why?
I have no idea if this is true, but a wolf. I always like wolves growing up. But I heard that there's like an alpha wolf in the front and the back. So like y'all know, like I said, I play any role. So I think I'm a leader, but if I need to play the back, I will. But you're still like an alpha wolf kind of thing. So wolf.
If that is true, that's dope.
If it is true.
If it's
it could
not
be
true, it's cap.
Somebody's gonna watch this and be like, get the fuck out of here.
Stevo, what do you do when you find yourself on a team with people who aren't pulling their weight?
I got no problem speaking up. But yeah, it's just speaking up. But after, if you can't raise your performance, then you got to go.
It's over.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Stevo, how many times has your heart been broken?
Twice.
What is one of the most difficult decisions you've had to make recently?
I haven't made it yet, but I'm trying to think, do I get a new car or do I work on my basement?
So you're anticipating making the wrong decision.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just stuck because one of them's gonna be wrong.
Yeah,
when I do one of them, it's like fuck. I should have did the other one.
Of course. Tell us about a time you got in trouble in school.
I was one of those sneaky good kids. Like I didn't get in trouble a lot.
You didn't get caught.
Yeah, I didn't get caught. One time I got in trouble.
No detention. No.
We were throwing pencils. And my teacher walked out of class, but of course, as soon as the teacher walked back in, I got access for the rest of the day in middle school. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, did you ever used to throw the pencils in the ceiling? Because you know how they have the little holes in the ceiling?
Yeah, we never did that.
Oh my God,
one,
that was like the thing to do.
Did you ever make staple guns out of mechanical pencils? You rig it where you could put a staple in a mechanical pencil and go.
Hell, I wish.
Dude, we were going crazy.
Sounds super dangerous.
It kind of hurt when you got hit. But anyway, Stevo, you must get rid of 3 states. Who's got to go?
New York, 1. Gots to go.
Wow.
Man.
Gotta go.
Beef.
I'm sorry.
The Big Apple ceases to exist.
New York gone.
Shit.
Confident.
Alabama can go.
Yeah, that's fine.
We're okay with that.
And then I'm just gonna throw Idaho because I don't even know what's there.
It's fine.
Potatoes.
Yeah.
Why do tennis balls have fuzz?
I have no clue, but I'm assuming so they don't hurt if they hit you.
Sounds logical.
Yeah.
Weird.
Pretty brilliant.
Actually, I'm going to look that up after because we don't have the answer to these.
We have no answers to any. No, we have no answers to any of these
Like, that's correct.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Stevo, where is Stevo in 10 years?
In 10, on somebody's film set. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm producing.
Acting?
No, not acting.
Okay.
Unless like,
I don't know. I've seen you in your modeling bag recently, bro.
hey, but I'll be like courtside. You know how like they in the movies and like there'll be a Nick game and there'll be Spike. Like I'll really be me in the movie.
Okay.
Like, oh, they go to a hall. Excuse me, Steve. What's up, man?
Yeah.
I'll be that. But yeah, that's my journey. Music, sports, film. So 10 years, I think I'll be on a film set by then.
Last one of the short answer, Stevo. What is your favorite curse word?
Fuck.
Part 1 of the Rampage.
Part 1, great.
That was good.
The wolf answer.
I'm basically
may or may
iCarly.
not be true.
I'm Mike Harley.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, kept the speed up too. No, that was impressive. Moving on to the this or that.
Okay, this or that. Am I? All right, it's one answer, one word.
2 choices, 1 answer.
All right, so I gotta close my eyes for this.
Your next pet is either a hamster-sized dog or a dog-sized hamster.
Dog-sized hamster.
Big-ass hamster. Mm-hmm. Become a full-time rapper or leave the music industry.
Leave the music industry. Rappers don't have no hoes.
Contrary to popular belief.
Contrary to popular belief.
Are we going to wear pants 1 size too small or shoes 2 sizes too big?
Pants too small. I'm from Atlanta. Yeah, I know we're squeezing some pants.
Melodies or drums?
Melodies.
Biggie or Pac?
Biggie.
Timbaland or Pharrell?
Timberland.
Eggs or pancakes?
Pancakes.
Tattoos or piercings?
Tattoos.
Fight club or book club?
Book club.
Get a face tat of a donkey or eat 1 small bowl of ranch dressing every day?
Tattoo of a donkey. Blue cheese over here, guy.
Me too. Gang. Heavy traffic or slow Wi-Fi?
Ooh.
That just hurt my soul a little
Jesus.
bit.
Heavy traffic. That was tough.
Tough. Need the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
We need gig speeds around this bitch.
Indeed. All of your socks are slightly moist forever. Or lose 2 weeks off of your life.
Oh, 2 weeks gone.
Gone.
Bro, people have no problem.
No regard for
I'm here
their
for a good time, not a long time.
Okay. People give up crazy shit for life. All right. A wife that's 10 years younger or 10 years older?
10 years older.
Get verified on Instagram or free McDonald's for life?
Free McDonald's.
Last one of the this or that. 75% chance of OG Parker's next record going platinum, or a 25% chance of OG Parker's next record going diamond.
25% going diamond.
Going for it. Part 2.
Risk it. Hell yeah.
Very fast. That was good.
God, the traffic Wi-Fi really
That was the only
that
little
was
wrench.
terrible.
That's tough.
Yeah.
or the
Jeez.
moist socks.
Just slightly. Just enough to be
more
annoying.
socks.
God, that's like the worst.
Life
thing
can
ever.
go.
I'm with Stevo. Fuck
those
those
2
2 weeks, bro.
If you could keep this speed up in the word association here, you could be considered for the Rapid Fire Rampage Hall of Fame.
Okay.
We know how you love to win.
So this is just, I got to say one word.
I'm going to say one word to you, and you just say the first thing that comes to mind.
Do I have to say one word back, or I can say multiple things?
1, maybe 2 words.
Okay.
Keep it short.
Maybe a short phrase, but just rapid.
quick. Short and quick.
Okay.
Here we go.
But the more embarrassing, the better for our content.
Okay.
X. Hip-hop.
Rap.
Goat.
Michael Jordan.
Rainbow.
Gay.
Fire.
Hot.
Cigarette.
Stupid.
Horoscope.
Miguel.
What?
That's his album name, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
I'm not Kaleidoscope. Whoa.
Okay, I was like-
that was dumb. So
See, there we go. This guy considers himself an A&R, doesn't even know fucking Miguel's album name.
Come on, man.
United Masters. Should
Wrong
probably
scope.
Reconsider.
You're right. Wrong scope.
Reconsider his employment.
Lawyer.
Sneaky.
April.
May.
TikTok.
Generation Z. I mean, yeah, Gen Zers.
I don't know. You've been crushing it, bro.
I'm playing catch up.
Yeah.
Chess.
Boring.
Piano.
Classical.
Hot tub.
Comfortable.
Hot dog.
Delicious.
Backwoods.
Blah.
Sloth.
Slow.
Panties.
Yes.
Jerk.
Chicken.
Lil.
Wayne.
Album.
Urban Legend. My favorite album of all time.
T.I. Yeah.
Indeed.
Podcast.
One more time.
One more
Let's go.
time.
Rocket.
Ship.
Cryptocurrency.
Misunderstood.
Greed.
Unnecessary.
Yo, Henry, your alley oops are terrible.
I was trying to alley-oop you into the green mine. It's okay.
Oh, you said
Part
first
3 of the
thing.
rampage.
What a fucking rampage, though.
It was great.
Strong consideration for Hall of Fame.
Strong.
Amazing interview. If you guys don't know Stevo, be sure to tap in. This dude is on to some shit, man.
Indeed.
I mean, the stuff you're doing with Romano and Parker and the whole gang over at United Masters, you guys as a company are doing some crazy shit. Really love what y'all are up to. Thank you again, man, for coming on.
We appreciate it.
I haven't seen you at the hoops in a while, though. I don't know, like,
This
what's
knee.
Okay.
It's not happening. You're retired?
I gotta give it till next year. I'm sorry. I gotta see this year.
Wow.
Rehabilitation.
All
There
right.
you go.
I'll see you in 2023.
There it is. I appreciate you guys.
Until next week, Henry, what are we doing?
Getting out of here.
Getting the fuck out of here. Peace.
Pop that shit like one more time. They pop that one more time. Pop that shit like one more time. They pop that one more time. Oh. Hop up in that foreign skirt, no. All the homie, this shit tripping, no. Middle finger to the law.